My name is Gavriel from Tranquil Meadows for stress management and personal development. I practiced meditation for many years, and when I decided to teach meditation on a professional basis, I realized very quickly that I needed to learn more tools. So I spent the next 3 years learning NLP, life coaching, and strategic intervention. Now before we continue, I'd like to do an exercise with everybody. So sit back in your chair, move the chair back a little bit away from the table. And I'm going to ask you to clap very quickly. Raise your hands up high like you're reaching for the ceiling, as high as you can. Stretch, 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 and bend your feet at the same time. Okay, now let your hands fall down into your lap. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And take another deep breath. Now, passively observe the sensation that you feel in your body. Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? How would you describe it to someone? You can continue keeping your eyes closed. At some point, I'll tell you to open them. And if you choose to listen with your unconscious, that's fine also. The purpose for this exercise is to become aware of the physical sensations in your body, to be able to observe them objectively. The next exercise would be becoming aware of your thought process, and the next one would be your emotions. We start with the physical sensations because the physical is the most easiest to recognize and become aware of, since it's concrete. Thought is a little bit harder, and emotions are the most difficult, because we could actually be experiencing an emotion without realizing it. And this happens quite often, for example with anger. All of a sudden we can be very angry and out of control without even knowing what happened. It didn't just start there, it started way before. And when we learn to have an awareness of our emotional state, our thought process, and our physical sensations, when we learn to observe them passively, we can become proactive instead of reactive. Many people live their lives reactive. And when you're reactive, you're reacting, and continuously reacting and reacting, until eventually you feel like you don't have control over anything, what people say, what people do, what's going on in your life. And this causes stress. And as this continues, the stress becomes chronic. For a situation, for example, if someone in your family or your spouse yells at you, how do you react? If you're able to be aware of your physical, your physiology, and your mental state, you're also able to be aware of the other person's. You're able to see, feel, and understand. You're able to hear the other person and know what they need, what they're asking for, what they're screaming for. They are not in control, they are in a reactive state. Therefore, they cannot express themselves in a manner that can be understood logically. But you, as an observer, can easily understand what they need. And once you've given them what they need, or just left them alone if that's what they need, then you've neutralized the situation. You've neutralized the potential stressful state. You yourself have never even entered a stressful state, and the other person will calm down, as opposed to doing something that might exacerbate it, like feeling the need to defend yourself. Now, if stress continues without being checked, medical studies have shown that 80% of illnesses are somehow related to stress. May we not know from such illnesses: heart disease, autoimmune disease, diabetes, as well as phobias, anxieties, headaches, premature aging. These are all related somehow to stress, and many, many others. There are some verbal cues that if you know people and you want to know if they're in a state of stress, then you can go ahead and listen to what they're saying. They may say things like, "My muscles are hurting," or "tense," or "Please massage my neck. I can't take it anymore. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to start." These are all things that people who live in a state of stress feel. And so they express them in terms such as these. Emotional signs of stress: moodiness, fatigue, lack of focus, forgetfulness. And there are also physical behaviors that can be a symbol of stress: unhealthy eating habits, emotional outbursts, obsessive or compulsive behaviors, or both, OCD, PTSD, such things like nail biting, knuckle cracking, skin picking, hand washing. These are all signs of a person living in a state of continuous stress. Now, meditation and what I do isn't necessarily for everybody, but certainly can help people who are in situations which cause chronic stress. New immigrants, corporate employees, and upper management, single parents, students during test season. When a person comes to me, I work with him, and I'm very good at locating the source of stress. And once we do that, together we neutralize it. We neutralize it by dealing with or uprooting it, or just ignoring, depending upon the seriousness. Because after all, the goal is to move forward and not stay stuck. I'm very good at empathizing with the person and feeling what this person is going through, understanding on a daily basis to overcome his or her personal challenges. And then there's meditation. Meditation is a skill that I offer the clients that come to me that they can take home with them so that they don't have to stay coming to therapy for years and years. My goal is to help people when they come to me is very quickly, to get them on their way, to give them the skills to continue on afterwards on their own. And when somebody comes to me, they learn three main things. They learn how to maintain calm throughout the day, or to return to a state of calm. They learn to be observers of any situation and to learn to focus on long-term and short-term goals. By acquiring these three traits, you automatically achieve control over your thoughts, control over your emotions, and learn to use positive thinking to create the life that you want. You'll also strengthen your immune system, have more mental clarity, become an exceptional listener, and understand people better. The referrals I'm looking for: people who desire to help others but don't necessarily have the time or the skills to do so, such as rabbis or community leaders, and people in mental or physical health fields such as social workers, doctors, holistic health practitioners, and bodywork therapists, or people who need a highly functioning team, like business managers, resources, CEOs. The method I use to work with people will help them identify their goals and achieve them in a healthy, balanced manner. Gavriel at tranquilmeadows.com for stress management and personal growth. Manage your stress by managing yourself. Take a deep breath, open your eyes, return back to Herculia.
Oh.